Welcome csc103 class to our weVideo segment, a little kind of sampling into working with video, and we're going to use an online video editor called weVideo, and I do have instructions that you can download and look at in PDF format, and that's what these are right here. And probably watching me will probably be easier than following these, just because some of the interface things are a little hard to find. And also we're going to go to weVideo. Now you can create an account. Now just to keep in mind, if you go to wevideo.com, you'll see all these paid versions. You have to go down and look for the weVideo free account. Now you don't get a lot for the free account, but for the sake of our class and just trying out some video, it'll be fine. There's a watermark on it. It's kind of low resolution and you don't get a lot of long video, but we're just going to do this one assignment. It's actually 2 videos we'll do with this assignment, but make sure you sign up for a free account. Make sure your username and password's real easy to remember. But I'm going to log into mine. And here's my account. Now, I took everything out, so I'd kind of be starting from scratch. Let me go to videos, because I still probably have videos here. This is the first thing we're going to do, and this is 12, should be 21. But we're going to do one with PatrickClips, and all that this is going to do, when we take a look at this, I'll double click on it. This is the finished version, and basically when you hear this, I don't know if you might want to play it yourself. I don't know if we could pick up this system audio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
It's not picking up the audio right now, but we have audio right now of this, and we are going to put this one won't have audio. It'll have audio in the video, but we won't put extra audio in this unless we put something at the end. And I put a little credits at the end. Here's some credits at the end that we can do. So that's all this first part is. That's the first video. The second video is Patrick animation, and I'll go to this one. And basically when you do this one, now there's audio in here. I don't think you could hear it right now, but for the sake of this video. And basically here's Patrick, and it's a little animated path that we'll work on. You can do it with the high school one or this one, and then it has his goofy laugh at the end of the video. So even though we can't hear the audio right now, and I think I threw there's some music in there that you could hear as well. So we're going to work with that a little bit. Just 2 quick videos, nothing really really in depth, but just an opportunity to kind of experiment a little bit with videos. I'm going to go to dashboard, and when you get started, you'll create new, and we're going to create something new first. And I'm going to create a new video, so I'll go here to create new, and right off the bat, they're getting things ready. And right away, I'm going to name my video. I'll go up here, and I'll just call the first one clips. I'll just call it 21 Patrick Clips, because we're just going to put some clips together. That's all we're doing here. Just putting clips together. And if you don't hear the audio or the sound, that's okay, because maybe I don't have it turned on my recording to hear the system audio. You could hear my microphone, but not the system audio. And I actually have headphones in, so maybe I could turn that off. Although I'll turn that off. Maybe you could hear the audio just through the microphone, might pick it up, so I'll take that off. So anyway, what we have here is we have a timeline down here where we could add video clips, we could add audio clips, and we're also going to import some clips that we're going to need to download. Now I haven't done that yet, so let me go and do that, because it says to download this. So I'm going to go back to my Warren, and I'm going to go to, I was in Documents and Resources, so I'm going to go into my coursework where the actual assignment is, and I think right in this semester it's Unit 10. So I'm going to go to Unit 10 and go to Video Editing Patrick, and you'll see a folder that actually is a zipped folder. And I did this on Windows because I find it a little more confusing on Windows. But what I'm going to do with this zipped folder is just click on it. And what that'll do is it'll download it on Windows, and it'll put it in your downloads. And if you double click on it, let me see what happens, because if you use 7-zip, I know in the lab they use 7-zip. I'm going to double click on it. And what I'll do is I'll click on this and I'll try to extract it. It says compress folder tools, and actually right here, this is without using 7-zip. I'm going to extract it. Even though it doesn't look like it's still zipped, I'm going to extract it. I'll do extract all, and it asks you where to extract it to, and I guess 7-zip kind of does the same thing. And instead of being in downloads, I'm going to go browse to somewhere else. I'll just put it loose in my documents right now, because I'm not sure where. I don't have a 103 folder set up, so I'll just put it loose in my documents right now, and I'll select that folder and I'll extract it. At least I'll know where to go get it. There it is, Unit 10 movie clips, and we're going to import things from there. So I'm going to go back to weVideo, And what I'm going to do first, even before I import anything, I'm just going to make a title sequence. And I'm going to go to my text kind of area up here. I'll go to text. And I'm going to skip motion. I don't want to upgrade anything. I'll go to starter. And I'll click on sample text. And I'll just drag this right into my timeline on video 1. And there it is. And basically, if I play my timeline, it just says sample text. And it's something like 8 seconds or something to start. So what I'm going to do is just click on it, just select it and drag it, and maybe make it something like, you know, like 3 or 4 seconds. You don't need that much. I'll try to take, it's like 3.5 right now. And then when I double click on it, if I could get in between there and double click on it, I'll move this some. And if you need to, there's even like a zoom, you could zoom in on the timeline a little bit to make it bigger if you need this bigger. If I double click on this, it'll take me into this text properties editing area, and I want to change sample text. I'm just going to call it, I guess I'll just call it PatrickClips for right now. And if you want to change the font, I just ask that you change the font to Alpha Slab, just so it's nice and big and bold like that. And then you could change the background color. This second one here, I'm just going to make it blue, like the deep blue sea. And then once I do that, it's already centered in this box, so I'm just going to extend the box. It'll keep the text in the middle of it. And I'll just extend to the edge as far as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'll just extend that kind of blue color to the outside so it's just there right now. And then all I want to do is just kind of animate this. So they have animation properties here. And I'll click here on this button. And they already have one set up where it's just a start and end. And instead of even doing that, I'll do a fade in, fade out. They have a little checkbox, and I'll hit edit settings. And basically it fades in, stays for a while, and fades out. Now I'm just going to make it fade in and stay. So I don't really need the fade out as much. So if I take, this is kind of the fade out tab. If I kind of move that, it's just going to fade in to 100%. And that's all I want right now. And I'll just have it fade in. Sometimes it previews fading in here. Sometimes it doesn't. I think the animations it does, but the fade in, fade out it doesn't. So let me hit, maybe I have to close that and fade in, fade out. No, it's still not doing it, but I'll hit done editing. And down here, if I play it, you can see what it does. It does a quick little fade in, and that's fine. That's all I need right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some clips in here, and then we'll do a transition in between. So that's all I need right now. And everything's going to be linear, meaning it's all going to be on the same kind of track that we're on, this video 1 track. So I'm going to go back to media, which is the one with the star, this folder with the star, and click on this little green thing and browse to select. So I'm going to browse, and I'm going to go back to Unit 10 movie clips and go inside there, and I'm going to bring in Patrick Phone and Patrick Technology right now. Those are my two. They're MP4 clips, and you may not see the extensions on them. You may have to look over here, but they're two kind of movie clips that we're going to bring in. And it may take a little while. You may see a little kind of wavy line there until they're set up, so you might have to wait a little bit. Once they're done being imported and you don't see that wavy line anymore, we're going to do the telephone one first, then the technology. I'll drag in the Patrick Phone down here, and I'll put them here. I'll leave a little space because it seems like the transitions sometimes create kind of they shorten things a little. So I'll go back to transitions, which is this little black and white thing here. They have transitions, and I'll just try one called, I mentioned different ones you could kind of try. There's directional, there's all different ones here. I'll try directional wipe, and I'll throw it kind of in between here. Let me put them side by side, and I'll drag in that directional wipe again, right kind of on top. You should almost be able to drag them right on top of both. Sometimes they shorten the one. That's the only reason I'm mentioning that, because sometimes they shorten these clips a little bit. So you might, once they're in there, you might be able to drag them apart a little bit. See, then the transition should kind of go with it if you make it a little longer. The clip will only go as long as the clip is, so it won't go any longer. And then I'll drag this back here. And now I'll kind of play it from the beginning again. I'll do, here's the little fade in thing. Then you should hit the transition. And there's the Krusty Krab thing. And then we'll throw in another clip right after this. And I'll go back to my, scroll up, I'll go back to my media, and I'll bring in the technology one. And I'll put it right next to it. And I'll bring in another transition. You could use the same one or try out a different one. I tried one with the curtains. You could do something else. It doesn't matter what you try out, just to try out a transition, see how it works. If you click on these, you could kind of see what they do. here's kind of the burn. Maybe I'll try the burn. I'll drag it there. And again, what I'll try to do is click on this one and extend it. If you click once and then kind of drag it, it should push the others. If there's room there, I'll move this one down a little and click here, because I don't want these shortened, and sometimes the transitions shorten it a little too much. I'll drag it. I guess that's all the way, so I'll drag this back. And now I have a transition between this one, and I'll just play this part of it. All right, so that's the end of that one, and what we'll end here, we'll put some credits here at the end, and I'll go back to text, this little text button up here, and they have a thing called credits, and I'll just drag this in, and I'll double click on it, and I'll go here, and I'll put my name, directed by, I'll put my name here, I'll put my name here, and I'll put actor name, I'll put SpongeBob SquarePants. And then for the actor 2 is Patrick Star. And I could leave the font the same there. If I want to change color, I could highlight the color, maybe change the color of the font. Down here, maybe I'll just make it kind of a bluish color, a real light blue. I'll change that. Now, if I want to actually have it act like credits other than just showing up here or just fading in or something, I could do an animation. And what I could do with animation, and there's different ways to do this, and it's not the easiest. I can't really shorten this here, the easiest thing, but they have kind of a start and end, and what I'll do is I'll kind of start with it off screen and end with it off screen. So I'll go here and I'll start. If I click on it, I should kind of be able to move it off screen. And then when I end it, I'm going to go and kind of move it off screen. And sometimes it might just drag with your mouse. I'll kind of move it off screen up there. And I'll move it a little more. And I thought I hit on the button, but I think so it should start down at the bottom, end up at the bottom. It's not the easiest interface to work with. You could also use these position things too, like always keep the X in the middle and just change the Y. If you knew what the X and Y was on these things, you could kind of adjust them a little bit. But let me just play it here and see if I could see it. And that's kind of what I want. It should go by and go all the way up when I'm done. So that's kind of what I want. So we're just doing kind of a start-end kind of animation. And I'll put done editing. And if you want it quicker, you could kind of shorten this thing. And then if you want to throw a transition on here again, I could just go back and maybe I'll just do the directional wipe again. Or maybe I'll try the curtains one. They have a curtains one here. So I'll drag this on here and put a curtains one in between. And if you haven't saved for a while, you could go over here, this little hamburger menu over here. I'll go down here and just do save, just to kind of update what I have. And then I'll go hit the back button and just play it one more time. And there's the fade in. Then I should have the transition. That didn't play very well. And there's the other transition. It's like having a little delay here. And there's another transition, and there's the curtains, and there's my credits. So that's all you need for the first one. That's our first video. And what you could do when you're finished, if you played it and it looks okay, if you hit finish, what you're going to do is just go down here to finish, and it'll generate a URL for you once it's finished. It'll kind of process it first. So I'll just wait a little bit while it's queued and processing. It's only a 28-second video, so we'll just wait that out, and then we'll basically copy the link like we've done with some of our other assignments to our add comment section of our My Warren area. Okay, now that it's done, you can download it, or there's the video link right there where you could just watch it, or you could share it. If you click on this little share icon here, what you could do is you could copy the link to the clipboard, and then you could go to My Warren, and in the assignment, which I still have open here, you can add a comment. Now I'm going to edit my existing one, or I'll just add a comment here, and I guess it'll be a second comment, and I'll just hit my insert link. I'll paste that here, and I'll target a new window, and I'll just hit OK first. Then I'll hit save. And you can see it made a second comment here. There's a second little editing thing here. So if I wanted to edit it and put anything in, but that's all I need. Then when I click on this, I could click on this and it'll kind of play my video. So that's how I can see your video. So you do have to do that. And there's the first video, PatrickClips. There's the fade in. Looks a little bit off with my blue stuff because it was hard to edit that area, but everything else looks okay. So again, it's just an opportunity. Let me stop this. Experiment with video a little. There's a lot of other video programs that we'll talk about in class other than this, but this is an opportunity to kind of just get a feel that we're able to do it in class and experiment a little bit. So that's the first one. That's part one. We're going to do another one in this same weVideo interface, so we'll do that next, but I'll do that as another video.